Parents, what would you do if your child who screwed you over begged you for a second chance? My son Marcus showed up at my door at 7 inches the morning on a Tuesday, looking like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes were red and puffy. He had a bruise on his left cheekbone that was turning yellow at the edges. When I opened the door, he didn't say hello or make small talk. He just said he needed to talk to me about something important, that he needed my help. I hadn't spoken to Marcus in 8 months, not since I'd found out what he'd done. I told him he should leave, but he put his hand against the doorframe, blocking me from closing it. Dad, please. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you, but I need you to hear me out. Just 5 minutes. There was something in his voice that wasn't just guilt. It was fear. Real panic that I'd never heard from him before, even when he was a kid, afraid of thunderstorms. I let him inside but didn't offer him coffee or ask him to sit. He paced back and forth in my living room, checking his phone every 30 seconds. The screen would light up and he'd glance at it, then keep pacing. Marcus kept saying he was sorry, that he knew what he did was unforgivable, that if he could go back and change it, he would. But he never actually said what he was apologizing for, like he couldn't bring himself to say the words out loud. I just listened, watched him pace, noticed things that seemed off. He kept touching his ribs on his right side like they hurt. When he turned a certain way, I saw what looked like tape or bandaging under his shirt. His hands were shaking, not just nervous shaking, but the kind of tremor you get when you're genuinely terrified. He said he needed me to understand that he never meant for things to go this far, that it started small and just spiraled, that he was in over his head. I asked him what he meant by over his head. He stopped pacing, looked at his phone again, then said he had until Friday to fix this. That's why he needed my help now. When I asked what happens Friday, he said they told him that's the deadline. Then he caught himself. Looked at me like he'd said too much. Who's they? I asked. Marcus sat down finally, put his head in his hands, said he couldn't tell me that yet, that he needed me to forgive him first, to agree to help him before he could explain everything. That's not how this works, I told him. You don't get to ask for forgiveness without explaining what you need forgiveness for. But I already knew. I just wanted to hear him admit it. Marcus stood up again, started pacing. His phone buzzed and he looked at it. His face went white. He typed something back quickly, then looked at me with tears in his eyes. Dad, I'm begging you. I know I stole from you. I know I took money from your retirement account. I know I forged your signature and cleaned out $40,000. I know I destroyed your trust and hurt you, and I know sorry doesn't fix any of that. The words hung in the air between us. This was the first time he'd actually acknowledged what he'd done, the first time he'd said it out loud. But I need your help. If I don't fix this by Friday, something really bad is going to happen, and I can't fix it without you. I asked him what the money was for, where it went, why he needed $40,000 so desperately that he'd steal from his own father. Marcus checked his phone again, then looked toward my window like he was checking if someone was outside. I got into something I shouldn't have, made some bad choices. The people I borrowed from aren't the kind of people who give extensions. And the $40,000 I took from you, I gave it to them, but it wasn't enough. So you're asking me for more money? I said. After stealing from me, you want me to just give you more? Marcus shook his head, said it wasn't about money anymore. That money wouldn't solve this problem. That he needed something else from me, something that would make all of this go away. Before I could ask what he meant, his phone rang. He looked at the screen and his entire body went rigid. He answered it, said yes several times, then okay. Then he hung up. He looked at me with an expression that was pure terror. Dad, there's something I haven't told you, about who has the money now, about why they let me walk away with just a beating, about what they want from you specifically. And that's when I realized my son hadn't just screwed me over. He'd traded something far worse than money. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.